we're back in London day 2 with Melissa. Today we talked about what we were going to cook, and we decided to show you that it's not all about meat when it comes to barbecue. So we're doing a veggie feast with a load of recipes out of Melissa's new book, Fired Up.
And it's been really interesting, hasn't it? Because sometimes I think both of us were like, oh, maybe we should like stick a little bit of fish in, or stick a little bit of I don't know, like flatbreads and stuff. And it's like, actually no, because vegetables, and it's something that I speak about a lot, and I know that you agree that vegetables cooked over fire are next level. So let's just keep it as a vegetarian.
I think it's like the same reason that barbecue is so good with meat is you get that heat, the high heat levels that you can't get another way.
Yes.
And that just does something to like the sweetness and the flavours of vegetables.
Yeah, and the way the ingredients, the fire and the fuel play off each other is just is so unique.
Yeah.
You can't get that inside.
And we're doing 3 recipes, is that right?
Yeah, so we're going to do roasted beetroot with walnuts and buffalo mozzarella, and then we're doing grilled cabbage with crispy chickpeas and garlic yogurt, which is I really love this dish because the crispiness, the texture, like texturally it works. And then there's like butter and stuff, which is delicious. And then we're doing this, which is one of my favourites, so grilled courgettes with white beans, charred tomatoes and walnut pesto.
And it just looks amazing, like the colours on the plate are just
unreal. Yeah, like you want to eat it, right?
You want to eat it, yeah.
So that's just got everything you want to eat, and it's like one of my favourite recipes ever. So I'm very glad that we're going to be doing that one.
And the beautiful thing with vegetarian food is you get to eat so much. Like,
yes.
You know, you can just keep going and feel no guilt.
Yes,
about it.
So, yeah, and you feel nourished, right? Eat the rainbow, and we are eating the rainbow. We've got these amazing beetroot, lovely courgettes, and then we've got like nuts, we've got beans, and it's just
awesome.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Great. So I think we'll get the beetroot, because the beetroot is going to be the thing that takes the longest.
Yep. Okay.
So get those in first.
And we're just going straight in coals to start.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to get flavour onto them, like char the skins, and then just to speed it up, I wrap them in foil.
Cool.
It just exploits the whole process. And having that steam, that kind of like capturing the steam, and then that really helps accelerate it. Get those in straight away. And I guess the next thing probably that would make sense to do is the walnuts. Right, so we're going to do the pesto next. And what I like to do, because we're using olive oil, I don't like to blitz it with the olive oil because I find that really accentuates the bitterness.
Okay.
So I grind everything separately and then like bring it all together.
Cool.
So I'll do like the cheese separately. So this is just some Parmesan. So I'll blitz this first in the old Maggi mix. Right, so that's that, and the few spoons. Thank you. And also this way, the reason I do it like this is that I think it also gets, it retains a bit more texture.
Okay, yeah. Rather than mushing so much.
Yeah, like, because I like it to have a bit of texture. Oh, the basil smells so beautiful. And that's going to be it.
Yeah, so it's pretty dry at that point.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you'll mix more oil in off the food process.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes I do it in the food processor, sometimes I just mix it all together. It depends how textured I want it. Right, so chickpeas are going to go in there, and then we're going to drizzle them with a bit of olive oil, a little bit of smoked paprika, and then I'm going to sprinkle of salt. Like, I reckon 20 minutes.
Okay.
In total.
Move them every few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Just going to tip those out so they cool a bit faster. Because this is a mixture of walnut halves and walnut bits. So if I take the bits out, because they can go on top to dress the beetroot. Pesto, obviously, traditionally is made with pine nuts.
Yeah. You just do it with walnuts.
Yeah, I do it with walnuts. I mean, because in theory, I'm not saying that these are British walnuts, but they do grow in the UK. Okay, so I'm going to go and blitz these now. Can you zest and juice?
Yeah. Just straight into it.
Please.
Yeah.
Gonna try some of the pesto?
Yeah.
It's quite sharp, isn't it? With the it's cheesy. It's quite sharp with the lemons. I think that's gonna work really well. Yeah. These onions. I'm gonna put both. It's one large onion, and we've only got 2 medium ones, so I'll put them both. Oh, these beetroot are looking lovely.
Yeah.
Salt, pepper, smoked paprika. Okay, a bit of parsley as well. So this is some butter I had. So it's like lime and Scotch bonnet and chive butter. How do you feel about us just using that and not making any more? Because then it's something that we've already got. It's very similar to the one that it calls for anyway.
Yeah. This is this is definitely not about making 3 exact recipes.
And that's what I always say. Like I always want my recipes to be a starting off point for. Because I actually find recipe writing quite difficult because I find it hard to be so prescriptive about something.
Because that's not how you cook.
No,
right,
I cook quite instinctively,
right, okay.
and also, what salt are you using? You know, like it's really hard to say like use this much salt because the salt in terms of volume or like strength could be like different.
You wouldn't say 2 tablespoons of
Yes.
salt. You'd say it's a bit of salt at this stage, a bit of salt at this
Yes.
stage, a bit of salt at this stage, and we're checking it. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. I put them back in the coals.
In the coals, cool.
Because you can do these in the grill basket, but I really like getting the little burn marks on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're nice and crispy. And you can hear.
Yeah. That looks a bit easier than yesterday.
Yeah, it does. I mean, this is like, because it is easy to take them too far, and that is like the perfect, in my opinion, roasted onion. So this is the base for the beans, for the white beans for the courgette and pesto dish. So it's just like garlic, those roasted onions, a little bit of paprika, and then in a minute, so then the white beans will go in, and then a bit of white wine, a bit of veggie stock.
When these are done, would you just lift them up here, do you think?
Yeah.
Cool, so that's nice temperature.
Coming together. So this is for this. The courgettes are done. We need to get the tomatoes sort of like blackened. These have already got like a nice bit of colour to them.
It's one of those ingredients that cooked traditionally in the UK I find dreadful,
Yes.
but cooked over fire just completely changes it.
Totally. You can sort of tell by the weight, can't you, as well, that they're sort of...
Less water in them? Or?
Yeah, I guess so,
Yeah.
yeah. And you can sort of tell that the density is like a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to get the tomatoes on.
Happy?
Yeah.
You just got to get through that thick crust that you built
Wow.
up. And...
Look at the patterns.
Yeah.
Oh, the smell of cooked beetroot. It's so nice.
This smells so good as well.
And this is the dressing for the beetroot. It looks like I'm putting a lot of dressing on, but obviously I want it to get all down into those layers as well. Buffalo mozzarella. So I'm just going to tear this over the top. Because I love this, because then like the cheese is like really creamy and cool, and then you have the nuts that will go on, and obviously the kind of citrus in the salad.
Yes, definitely textures and differences in flavour.
Totally. So trying to get it into it like so that it falls into all those nooks and crannies.
And this is a different butter to your recipe book.
Yeah, so this is like it's butter that I had from another recipe, so it's like a lime and Scotch bonnet and chive butter.
I mean, that's still going to be amazing on this, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I kind of turn it over and then I grill it, but with this I've just kind of like let it melt into it. Can you hear like this sort of slight crispiness?
Yeah. This looks amazing.
I hope you enjoy it.
I'm 100% sure I'll enjoy that.
So many people concentrate on the meat at a barbecue.
Yeah.
But for me, it's definitely
Sides.
the sides that make a barbecue.
We went out to a couple of steak restaurants recently, and one of them we came away with this like wonderful memory of all the food, and one of them we came away a bit like, nah.
Oh,
And-
interesting.
And the steaks were incredible in both of them, but one of them had just made so much more effort with the side dishes. Those beans are amazing.
Yeah.
So rich.
And I think that those beans as a base work for so many things, like whether it's like a roast chicken, a bit of lamb.
What's really nice here is you've got a cold dish in the salad, a really nice hearty wall beef on here, and then that's sort of somewhere in between.
And they're quite patient dishes. Like they're happy to wait for like everything's ready. I mean, obviously that one's kind of pretty much entirely cool. You can serve the cabbage warm. I mean, you want to serve it, I think, before the butter has solidified.
Yeah.
And
And almost the difference in the temperature of the sweetened yogurt.
Yes.
Cabbage is nice if the
Yeah.
cabbage is warm.
Yes.
So here's the question. Would a bit of protein, meat-based protein on that make a difference to you, or?
And also, because you've got 3 very different dishes,
Yeah.
each with very different textures within each dish.
Yeah.
And so I think every mouthful is something different, because you can eat a dish by itself, and then you can mix like bits of dishes together.
Which is one of the things quite often missing in vegetarian food, and why you like seek out a meat protein is texture, isn't it? Yeah.
What about with you? Do you think a bit of protein?
No. No, I mean, I was obviously dead keen on this.
Yeah.
No, it definitely doesn't need that.
In Malta, my parents recommended a restaurant, and the food was just really tasty and lovingly made. And it wasn't like blow your mind off, kind of like in terms of like pushing the envelope. I think it was just really tasty. The ambience of the restaurant was nice. The staff were lovely, and then the chef came out to have a chat with us, and he was like, with my food, I want people to leave and not only feel good that night, but then wake up the next day and feel good and feeling healthy.
Yeah, yeah. I think we could probably sit here and eat all this and feel incredibly full, but not feel like you'd overdone it.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, a roast chicken with this would be delicious.
Yeah.
Like a little spatchcock chicken,
Or a lovely bit of steak.
or a lovely bit of steak.
Yeah.
But then this for me, it's just really exciting. Like in its own right, but then also as a side.
Cool. Well, thank you for showing me that it's not all about the meat.
I mean, you knew that anyway.
I knew that anyway, but you know what I mean. Like bringing
yeah.
together a complicated vegetarian barbecue like this that is unreal. So yeah, thanks very much.
Pleasure. Honestly, I'm really glad how it worked out actually, because I didn't know if I would miss meat, and I don't. And it was really important for me in the book to include loads of vegetarian dishes.
Yeah.
and dish that could be plant-based as well. I think it takes it. You need to be intentional, don't you? To kind of like, we talk about sustainability, we talk about eating less meat, and you need to be quite intentional with it. That I'm not going to be tempted.
Yeah.
To put like a little bit of a ratio.
As we said at the start, we were both tempted.
Yes.
And yeah, completely unnecessary. So
Nice.
I was really interested to hear if we get any comments on the video, what people think. About, are people seeking more vegetarian barbecue, or are we like fishing in a pool of people that does not this?
Yes.
See what people like,
Yes.
chicken, all that sort of stuff. So
Let us know if you think this is missing, like a piece of roast chicken. I don't. Sitting here,
I don't.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
No, but thank you. I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, no, it's been a great couple of
It's been
days.
really nice.
So, yeah, we'll do something.
Yeah, nice.
Soon.
Yeah.
Cool. Right.
All right,
Great.
guys.
Lovely.
Cheers.